medical marijuana is one step closer to becoming a reality in Kentucky. Find out what's next today on News Channel 12.
That's right, and graduation rates aren't the same across races and genders. Find out how one WKU student group is taking charge and empowering others to reach their goals.
And it's a nice and dry weekend for the most part, but I'm tracking rain chances on your Sunday. The timeline coming up on News Channel 12.
Live from the campus of Western Kentucky University, you're watching News Channel 12, where commitment makes the difference.
Thanks for tuning into News Channel 12, live at 1. I'm Sierra Bailey.
And I'm Ashton Jones. The legalization of medical marijuana is moving forward in Kentucky. The House passed a bill on Thursday 65-30. The bill would let doctors prescribe cannabis and set up regulated dispensaries. It would allow for pills and oils, but not smoking. Now the bill is headed to the state Senate. Both chambers are controlled by Republicans. Also in Frankfort, a voter ID law is moving to the full House floor. On Thursday, a House committee cleared a bill on party lines. The Republican-backed measure would require people to show a government-issued ID before voting. Now, opponents say the requirement could reduce turnout among minorities, the elderly, and disabled voters. If passed, the law would go into effect for this year's November election.
At WKU, like at many universities, graduation rates vary by race and gender. Reporter Junie Riddle spoke with a student group that's working to improve outcomes for Black women at Western.
February is known nationwide as Black History Month. For the campus organization Black Women of Western, it means much more to them and their community. On Tuesday night, Black Women of Western held an event for old and new members called Sip and Paint. Jakayla Williams, president of the organization, hopes the event will have a lasting impact on the women who attended.
This event, Paint and Sip, is being held to uplift women. It's a Black History Month event, and basically we're just trying to let people come out, enjoy their time, meet new people, and just surround each other with getting to know people on campus.
Statistics show from 2018 that only 18% of African American women graduate from WKU. The paintings show encouraging messages and women of color in cap and gowns demonstrating that they can beat the odds. Freshman Camry Logan Taylor tells us how Black Women of Western helped her feel more at home in college.
Black Women of Western BWOW, it helped me to connect to other Black women and people who could relate to what I'm going through, and I could help relate to them. It gave me a sense of belonging in a different environment from what I'm used to.
The event did a great job inspiring young Black women to strive for success, but also remember the meaning of Black History Month.
Black History Month means to me uplifting each other of color, celebrating what our ancestors did, and basically power to the people.
Black Women of Western continue to inspire and encourage young women of color to reach new heights. For News Channel 12, I'm Junie Riddle.
For more information on the Black Women of Western, check out their Facebook page for upcoming events.
Another student group is looking to make big changes beyond campus. Reporter Jillian Ryan explores how Enactus is using technology to save lives.
The students sitting in this boardroom are working together to take a project to the next level.
I joined Enactus freshman year when a group came and presented to my class and talked about the projects that they were creating and improving the community. They go to a national competition every spring and present these projects, and that really intrigued me, so I joined the group.
On Tuesday with a...
This year's project is called Engage BG. It gives local nonprofits a chance to get their volunteer opportunities out to the public.
I started Engage BG with my group this past fall, and we came up with the idea noticing that there was a lot of volunteer opportunities in Bowling Green, but not a lot of students went to these volunteer opportunities regularly. One partner that we worked with was Lost River Cave, and we found out that there was a lot of students that would only come for the first few weeks and then they would drop off. So we created this system to help students stay engaged with the community and stay volunteering.
The website offers tools to help those students track their hours within their organization. New local nonprofits are added weekly, and some include Habitat for Humanity and Hope Harbor.
We compete in the spring, and this year we're going to Kansas City to compete and present Engage BG on a national level, and in the past we've been very successful with our projects.
Last year, the team placed third in the nation with a project called the Bowling Green Night Market. The group hopes Engage BG will take gold this year. For News Channel 12, I'm Jillian Ryan.
The WKU Enactus team is heading to Kansas City again in April to present this year's project.
The bike sharing program at WKU is coming to an end. The share provider VioRide will end this service on campus at the end of February. The company says it's shifting to focus to e-scooters and e-bikes. WKU Parking and Transportation is reaching out to the city of Bowling Green. They hope to partner with the new city on a micromobility program that would benefit students and the community.
Well, Darius, this is the last time that people are going to be able to go out and ride the bikes. So what's the weather going to be looking like for one last ride?
Well, Ashton, the weather's going to be nice, especially as we go into the day on your Saturday. This is a live look outside currently, and we're at 34 degrees right now. Current dew point at 15 degrees. We got a northeast wind at around 9 miles an hour. That's actually what is keeping temperatures cooler out there today with clear conditions overall. Across the area, overall, we're in the low 30s. Head your way up the BG Parkway towards Lexington, 32 degrees, 37 degrees in Knoxville, where they had almost, I think, 3 inches of snow yesterday, around this time yesterday. So we dodged a big time snow system yesterday. And then St. Louis coming in at about 36 degrees. Coming up, as I break down the forecast, I'm tracking a dry and chilly day today, another dry day on your Saturday, and then rain chances return as we go later into the weekend, especially on your Sunday. We'll have that timed out for you guys coming up in Maine weather.
Thanks, Darius. After the break, a virus is causing global alarm. How WKU Study Abroad is responding to the novel coronavirus.
And later I talked to 2 students about their dating app horror stories, how you can protect yourself online, coming up. The global death toll from the novel coronavirus, officially COVID-19, is continuing to rise. At least 2,200 people have died, with all but 11 of those deaths in mainland China. More than 76,000 people have been infected.
But novel coronavirus isn't the first viral outbreak. Reporter Olivia Eiler shares the plan WKU Study Abroad has had in place since the SARS epidemic in 2003.
The people behind me are hoping to become one of the nearly 500 WKU students that study abroad every year. Normally those trips go off without a hitch. But what happens if you've got it planned and there's an outbreak?
WKU's Office of Study Abroad and Global Learning put a plan in place during the 2002 SARS outbreak, a plan focused on safety.
But I'm not the best judge, and we don't have many people on campus who would be the best judge of what's safe. But there are people who do this day in, day out, 24 hours a day.
People like the CDC and the U.S. State Department. The department issues 4 levels of travel advisories.
So 4, we won't travel. 3, we will very seriously reconsider travel and probably won't travel. 2, of course, will travel, and 1, of course, will travel. China was at a 2. Day later, it was a 3. Day later, it went to a 4. That's very rare, frankly, for that to happen.
So what happens if WKU cancels a trip before students leave?
We'll do everything we can to get any monies that we've spent back. If we book their flight, then, we would not charge the student for the loss.
For students booking flights on their own, the office recommends purchasing travel insurance. Senegard says rather than turning students away from study abroad, the coronavirus should highlight just how important these types of programs are.
The world, as we see from this virus, how quickly it spreads and how much economic disruption it's already beginning to cause. Our students need to understand how the world works.
In Bowling Green, Olivia Eiler, News Channel 12.
If students are already abroad when there's an outbreak, WKU has a plan for that too. Every student studying abroad has an emergency evacuation insurance. which kicks in when the travel advisory reaches level 4 and in some cases level 3. The insurance company covers the costs and manages the evacuation.
After the break, I'll have a full look at your 7-day forecast, including when you might want to grab an umbrella.
And normally when you think of fishing, you think of a pond or an ocean. A new type of digital danger coming up.
And this is a live look at what's going on a few hundred feet above our heads from the PFT Tower cam. We got a lot of sunshine out there. It certainly looks great there going down towards Bell Tower, but it certainly doesn't feel that way because we are in the 30s. 34 degrees right now at Bowling Green, 34 degrees in Evansville. Overall, we are in the low 30s so far. 37 degrees the temperature in Knoxville, where they got at least 3 inches of snow yesterday, especially in those eastern mountains of Tennessee. Current conditions outside, 34 degrees. That's all courtesy of that northeast wind. We're going to pay attention to that wind as we'll see it shift from northeast to more of a southwest flow as we go into the day tomorrow. It's going to allow temperatures to warm up nice enough to right around normal. Yesterday's weather stats. We reached a high yesterday of 44 degrees. That is just 7 degrees below our normal of 51 degrees. But I'm sure people remember this. Back in 2015, we had a record low this day at -4 degrees. So I'll take 44 over -4 any day. Good news, 27 days until spring, and I think it's about 2 weeks from today when we get into spring break. So certainly good news there. Spring starts March 19th, 2020. Going ahead, our next big thing. So we're looking at this high pressure that is right now hanging its way into Arkansas. That is going to track its way towards the north, and with that, it's going to allow winds to shift from northeast to southwest. It's going to allow those temperatures to really soar into the lower 50s as we go into the day tomorrow. Watching for Sunday, though, we're going to see an increase in cloud cover, and that is just ahead of a rain chance that moves in here late on your Sunday. See that timestamp there, 6 p.m., where we could see some rain showers in extreme western Kentucky by that time. Good news, though, is if you're heading to morning services, should be a nice drive for that, so it's not going to be an all-day rain event. If you're heading to the game tomorrow, well, temperatures will be in the 40s. As you're heading to the game, it's going to be 46 degrees. It's going to be nice. It's going to be sunny, but you're going to have to grab that jacket. 43 degrees for tip-off at 6 o'clock, WKU versus Charlotte. Heading home, we're going to be in the upper 30s, so make sure you really bundle up and have that jacket in hand. Tonight, 26 degrees for the low, clear skies, and we got calm winds. That is a textbook recipe for potential frost developing. If you wake up tomorrow early enough, you may see some frost on your car tops as you're heading to work. Unfortunately, not a good day to head to work on a Saturday. Tomorrow, a high of 50 degrees, sunny and clear day, wind southwest around 7 miles an hour. With your 7-day forecast, we're going to keep temperatures in the 50s, right around normal, tracking that rain chance late into Sunday and in through your Monday. Canes opening day looks great. Back to you, Ashton.
Thanks, Darius. Dating apps are common on college campuses. As 2 students on campus told me, it's important to make sure the person you're talking to is really who they say they are.
In the age of social media, online platforms give users the ability to be anyone they want, but it also opens a door for deception.
I met him on Tinder, and he was like really cute or whatever, and he said that he had graduated WKU for English and was at Vanderbilt Law currently.
Ex-Tinder user Jade Bayer says at the time she could see the relationship going somewhere.
He was real, like the pictures he had on his Tinder were real.
But she tells me everything he told her about himself was fake.
And it was all like pretty credible if you didn't have someone who like knew him personally, so it makes me think that he's probably doing it to other girls.
Apps like Tinder introduce users to new people with just a swipe, but a quick FaceTime and links to other social media can help keep you safe.
I was like, I don't want to be mean. I was like, you really don't look like your pictures at all.
Brenda's experience on Tinder was short-lived, but in that time, she was misled twice. She says she was catfished.
I was scared, actually, yeah. If you are on those apps a lot and like you feel like that, I mean, it's fine to just kind of get rid of them.
Bayer says the best way to protect yourself is trust your instincts, but if it happens, you can move on.
Don't let it, make you into a recluse. Like, you have to know that what happened is his fault, not yours, and you had no way of knowing that he was lying.
For News Channel 12, I'm Ashton Jones. Tinder is working on adding new safety features, including integrating their app with the personal safety app Noonlight.
And after the break, Blake Bethune is here to break down this week in Hilltopper sports.
I'll recap the men's basketball nail-biter against UTSA and how the baseball team is going after their first winning season since 2014. Tomorrow evening, the WKU basketball team will take on the Charlotte 49ers in their first game of the Conference USA bonus play at EA Diddle Arena. This is the top second time playing Charlotte this year. First time resulted in a 17-point blowout led by the trio of Tavion Hollingsworth, Jared Savage, and Carson Williams, scoring combined 65 points, which is more points than the entire 49ers team. The Hilltoppers have won their last 4 entering bonus play, which will match the Hilltoppers up against the other 4 highest seeded teams in the conference. The WKU baseball team is off to a 3-1 start for the second straight year. With more on the Hilltoppers' hot start, here's Tyler Eden.
The WKU baseball team is on the hunt for their first winning season since 2014, and they've begun that pursuit with 3 wins in their first 4 games. The latest came Wednesday night in a 7-6 win over Murray State. The Hilltoppers jumped out to a 5-2 lead after the first inning, but the Racers rallied to cut the lead to 6-5 heading into the bottom of the 8th. It was then that outfielder Ray Zuberer connected with his second home run of the season, a solo shot that was ultimately the deciding run.
Games are going to be close. You got to find a way to win the close ones, and give Murray State credit. They came back, they battled. That's a good lineup over there. They didn't give up, and we were fortunate to find a way to win today against a very good Murray State team.
The bats were the main concern for head coach John Pawlowski and the Hilltoppers coming into the 2020 season, considering the loss of third-round MLB draft pick Jake Sanford. Despite that, the Hilltoppers scored 25 runs across their first 4 games, utilizing a more balanced offensive attack at the plate.
We have so many guys, 1 through 7, who even Jackson Sweeney, he's a sophomore, but he plays like he's a junior or senior. So it's good to have so many guys with so much experience in the lineup, and we'll be able to get the job done day in and day out.
Picked 7th in the preseason Conference USA Coaches Poll, WKU's aspirations extend far beyond that ranking. For the Hilltoppers, this non-conference slate is about building towards conference play.
Wright State's going to be an unbelievable challenge for us this weekend. But that's the reason why we schedule good teams, so it can help us as we move forward in conference play.
The Hilltoppers get 7 straight home games to start the 2020 season, and were 17-10-1 within the confines of Nick Dennis Field last year. For News Channel 12, I'm Tyler Eaton.
WKU continues their season-opening homestand with a 3-game series against Wright State. That series kicks off today. The first pitch from the Nick scheduled for 3. That's all the time we have for sports this afternoon. Tune in to Extra Point today at 3:30 for more in-depth coverage. In the meantime, follow us on Twitter at ExtraPointWKU. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Blake. What do you do when you find money on the ground? Find out how one Kentucky woman went above and beyond.
And after the break, Darius will be back one more time with a look at how high the temperatures will climb for a weekend warm-up.
What would you do if you found $5,000 on the ground? Michael Burke shares how taking the high road paid off for one Kentucky woman.
Words cannot express our appreciation for you today.
For Katrina Deanie Thomas, this is one thank you card that was worth every penny of $5 grand.
When I went to pick it up, it was awful heavy. I found it right here.
And it was right there for the taking. $5,000 in cash, left on the floor in front of her workstation inside the Maysville Rural King, and she didn't even think twice.
God put me to put it back. He was the one that directed me to give it back.
Her coworkers could have told you all along that's what she would have done.
Everything she does 100%. So, it was not a shock at all that she turned it in.
Left her husband of 42 years beaming with pride.
I was proud that she was going to turn it back in because,
somebody really needed the money.
But it was the thought that counts.
And a reward would follow, consisting of flowers, candy, and of course that card.
God bless you and hope you have a very special Valentine's Day.
Hand delivered by the person who accidentally dropped the envelope, with a little something extra, of course.
Let me give you a big hug. I said, you're welcome. I said, you know, it could have been somebody else that didn't turn it in.
But it was Katrina who did, showing she was all heart on February 14th.
On Valentine's Day, they got a Valentine's gift back.
Thanks to a saint everyone calls Deanie.
What a heartwarming story.
I know. Well, that makes me really happy. Someone stole my credit card last week, so, you know, I would have liked if they had turned it in. But Darius, can you tell us a little bit about how the weather's looking, especially for the game later today?
Well, weather's looking great for the game later. We're going to be in, we're going to be in the low 40s as we go through the day. It's going to be cold, but tomorrow, certainly good news as we're going to be in the 50s. Great day to find $5,000 on the ground.
Blake, what about the game? What can you tell us?
Well, it's going to be an incredible game. Western 3-1 in the baseball season so far. They're playing Wright State, who's 1-3, but they're not a joke. Even though they're 1-3, they beat Louisville, who is a powerhouse in college baseball. So.
All right, well, that's really interesting. And then you said that's for baseball. So then what about basketball?
Basketball should be a good game as well because we're playing Charlotte. Beat them by 17 points last time at home. Come to Diddle. It'll be rocking. Hopefully, we can get the win.
All right, well, that's all the time we have this afternoon. Thank you for making News Channel 12 your source for news.
Have a great weekend.